Give it up for our first comic, y'all. Coming to the stage, Liz Stone.
Oh my God, Vegas, I'm so excited to be here. Hell yeah. Now, for those of you who didn't notice from my hair, I am recently divorced. And COVID is a crazy time to be single. I am so glad we're back in action. We've got shows, we've got bars, even creepy dudes are out. It's great. Yeah, this time around they're like, hey, and I'm like, yes! Let's build a life together. I am so lonely. If you touch my arm, I will marry you. This dude started backing up. I'm like, oh my God, COVID has made me so needy, I'm freaking out catcallers. I started this shutdown alone in an apartment in San Francisco, and I'm an extrovert, so I got so depressed. It was awful. On a whim, I just moved to Las Vegas. I had no idea if I would feel better. I was like, I think I might just be sad in different scenery. But then I got here, and everything was open, and it turns out I just needed eyelash extensions. I'm like, I can get my hair done, my nails. You know what? If I die of COVID, please put me in an open casket. I've never looked better. And everything's so fun here. I started going out all the time. I met the best people. And then in, I guess, very unsurprising news, I did get COVID. The science is correct. The contagious disease is contagious. And I don't know how many of you had COVID, but when you get it, you have to make all these uncomfortable phone calls to people you've been around. And you're like, hey, I'm so sorry, we were out at dinner, and hey, we were in an elevator, and I sat on your face and licked you, and... However, there is one highlight to those phone calls, and that is no one is more excited to hear they've been exposed to COVID than a guy who's scared you're calling to tell him that you're pregnant. That dude is stoked. He's like, COVID? Just COVID? Hell yeah. I'm like, that's right, man. What I have is already 19. We're good. But it's a crazy time to be newly single. The last time I was single is before my flip phone had photo capabilities. So everything's really different now. I'd never done any dating apps, and my gay guy friend was like, you have to be on the apps. I'll set you up and get you started. And I'm like, oh my God, that's awesome, because he knows what he's doing. He's on Grindr. I didn't know what that meant until I saw all the insane messages he sent from my account. He wrote to this hot guy named Luke. He's like, hi, I like eating almonds, but I'll take alternative nuts. And then Luke wrote back to me and said, hi, are you hungry right now? Is this dating? Is this it? This is terrifying. I'm not ready for this. Honestly, this makes me miss my husband's ED. That joke works way better than his dick, so I'm good. I went to Colorado and I met this super hot guy, and then he told me he was a cop, and I'm like, oh no. Not like because of politics, just all the cocaine. And so I'm like, you know what? He looks amazing, he's just not my type. Then I saw his dick and I was like, whoa, new type. That's so crazy. And he was wild. We were hooking up and we broke the bed. Then he fixed the bed. Then I came so hard. Because I've been living in San Francisco, so I've never seen a man fix something before. That shit is hot. And I got back to San Francisco, he wanted to send me a dick pic, and I had never received a dick pic before, and here's why. One of the first dates I ever went on, it was really good. I went through all this guy's pictures. The last picture he posted, it was a screenshot of his credit score. And it was 828. That's amazing. 828, I'll tell you this much, every responsible woman in here is wet right now, okay? I couldn't swipe. It wasn't even a swipe. I almost blew out my shoulder. I was just like, yeah, Bruce, I want to see your apartment. And I couldn't stop talking about him, so no one was sending me dick pics. Everyone started sending me their credit scores. I got all of them. My friend Tim sent me a 620. I'm like, Tim, I'm gonna call your parents. I would be leaving shows, guys were like, 785. I'm like, I don't get horny till the 800s. So when this guy wanted to send me a dick pic, I was like, this is so exciting. And then he sent it, and it was terrible. First of all, his face was in the picture. I'm like, hey man, that's not what we're here for. And it was terrible lighting and lots of clutter, and he was sitting in a Circle K parking lot. I'm like, I'm not into this. All I could do with that was send it to my gay guy friends to make fun of him. And so when 2020 hit, I know you guys may not know, but we had a couple pandemics going on. We had coronavirus, and we had a dick pic pandemic. Because every man with COVID had nothing to do but sit there all day long and shoot out dick pics. So this guy found me on Instagram, and he sent me a disappearing message in my messages, and I'd never gotten one of these before. And I was like, okay, his picture's gonna be awful, but it's disappearing, and I need to be able to make fun of him. So when I opened it, I screenshot it. And what no one told me when I became single is that Instagram is a goddamn snitch. It told him that I screenshot it. It was so embarrassing, I just turned off my phone like that would make it go away. And a week later, he sent me another picture, and I'm like, I know I can't screenshot this, but I've learned about screen recordings. You can record everything you do on your phone, I'll get a copy of it, and I can make fun of him. And it turns out Instagram told him that too. It's not even the same application. I didn't know I needed to hire an engineer to be single. And he said, hey, no screenshots. And because I'm an adult, I was like, I'm not. I didn't know how to be like, hey, don't worry, I'm not a creep. I'm just an asshole, you know? And the crazy thing is, this guy has sent me another picture, and it is in my inbox right now. And under no circumstances am I going to screenshot it or even open it until the camcorder I ordered from Amazon arrives next week. I didn't know I'd be dealing with this, you guys. Being single is crazy. I didn't want to be single. I loved being married. I loved all of it, everything, except for my husband. That dude is a piece of shit. My ex-husband broke up with me, and he moved out, and then he used Apple TV to stream screenshots of sext messages with his new girl and send them to my living room TV. It was horrible. It was the worst thing I've ever seen. I came home alone to watch a movie, and instead I got all his dirty messages. And for the first time ever, I was like, fuck, I really regret buying the bigger TV. Like, this is really something you want to find on an iPhone 4, you know? And I started reading it, and her name is Paloma, which is a nice name. It's Spanish, but I guess you can get it up. But as I tell you guys this story, I want to be clear, I am not knocking Paloma, okay? First of all, this is not her fault. Second of all, I got to know Paloma very well. And let me tell you, that girl is sexy as hell, and she was bringing her A game, all right? Amazing. Like, if I get in a sexting relationship, I'm going right back to her messages and lifting what she wrote. Like, I wouldn't know what to say. I'm not even good in bed, so I'm lazy, and I've been trying to rebrand as submissive, and nobody's buying it. So when this came in, at first I was like, oh my God, maybe I kind of want to be Paloma. She's so hot. And then I'm like, no, I don't want to be her. I want to fuck her. She's amazing. She's so good at sexting, but it turns out my husband, not so much. This was a one-sided talent show with Paloma doing all the heavy lifting. Like, Paloma wrote all these hot messages to him about what she was gonna do next time she saw him. And I cannot quote it, because you guys will just get up and start fucking right now. But it was super hot. And he responded to this. He responded with 3 celebrate emojis. Just boo, woo, woo. I'm like, why would you put that in a sext message? Dude, it literally would have been hotter if you called her on the phone and played an air horn at her. I'm not an expert in sexting, but just go to the fruit and vegetable section and pick something. Then she wrote more hot stuff to him, and this time he writes back and he goes, wow, I'm gonna be so horny all day tomorrow, it's a good thing I don't have any meetings. I'm like, hey man, Paloma does not care about your meeting schedule. You're just showing her you're underutilized at work. But more importantly, why the hell aren't you gonna be horny until tomorrow? What's happening tonight? I'm like, dude, this is the worst night of my life, and I am double fisting vibrators right now. And when this all came in, I was so hurt and so upset, and for the longest time, I was like, I need revenge, and it has to be murder. But the thing is, we're here tonight, and we're filming, and now I'm gonna be able to stream my limp dick jokes to his TV. Thank you guys so much. I'm Liz Stone.